You will receive a payout in July 2025. I actually specifically got July 15th. Hello and welcome back to the Metamystic Show. This is a time-based reading today. I got a channeled message yesterday. Look, just to show, this is just evidence, to give an asterisk to my reading called Receipts. I believe I'm holding this sun in the thumbnail with the receipts. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I don't know. It's a thumbnail with me burning this paper up. So anyways. I got a channeled message yesterday. I'm sorry. A weird energy just entered the room. It's this King of Wands. Or you're this King of Wands. No, I don't think it's you. There's somebody here that, does something. They do some sort of, work here. And then they watch you from afar. If it's affecting their contract with you. My right hand just got weird. I'm not trying to freak you guys out, but it feels like my arm is, going numb. So yeah, let's just take a brief moment. Just while we're here. Just a little house cleaning while we're here. They're doing something specific. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get into spell work and stuff in this reading. I have a specific message to bring, and I feel like this person's they're an interrupter. Yeah. At the Judgment. And if they continue doing this, they're going to have a long road ahead of them. So, yeah. Part of what is coming out I almost said in January. I don't know why I said that. So for some, it could be January or something already happened in January of 2025. Or there could be, I'm hearing some sort of indictment, like a formal indictment happening in January. Did this already happen? They're saying no. This is 2026. So back to what I was saying. I'm just annoyed because this energy it's like they're literally dancing in the corner, doing everything that they can to make sure we're paying attention to them and not to the matter at hand. So just be aware of that. I did a reading I talked about the concept of a red herring, which is a distraction. It's trying to take you off of the point at hand, and this is the point. There's going to be some sort of a payout coming July. I heard July 15th. I was doing just a personal tarot reading for myself yesterday, and then I started getting this energy coming through as if it was a class action lawsuit. That was the energy here. Now, I'm not saying you're part of a class action lawsuit in the 3D world. Today's message is more spiritual. I believe it's going to be more of a karmic payout with the Justice card, but for some of you that could translate to literal money. So, because I'm seeing both. I'm seeing this as some sort of karmic debt being repaid to you. I'm hearing repo, like when your car gets repoed. You could have even I'm seeing the Five of Pentacles. You could have gone through a really hard time here, financially specifically. And there's something to do with a karmic rebalancing here. So, yeah, something has concluded here on your side of things. And it's only just begun for this other side of things. I did this reading called 7 Years Bad Luck. And I'm not saying it's actually bad luck, guys. I was using that as an example because it's a cheeky example of this person. What I'm getting for some of you, not for all, this does tie into a 7-year time frame, and it was some sort of contract that you were in with a person. Now these things go both ways, right? It's not about demonizing anybody. It's about the fact that you could have felt, I'm seeing it like a stock, right? Your stock could have dipped, right? But for some of you, this is crazy. I'm seeing like all this stuff, all this negative stuff happening to you, but your stock is kind of just like, maybe it dips a little bit, but it kind of just stays, it just kind of stays in the middle. It's giving Knight of Pentacles, right? It's giving when somebody is going through hell. I'm hearing that song. Hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell. Da-na-na-na-na, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell. Like somebody could have even had like a grudge or vendetta against you, and this stuff gets complicated. I'm a 12th house stellium, so this is what I'm trying to say with this. I'm going to say it quickly. Four of Wands soul contracts, you could be dating someone and it's like an abusive relationship or it's just like a negative time, right? And there could be an energy that infiltrates that relationship that is from another person in your soul pod here, where they could have like a vendetta, they could have an evil eye, they could want your relationships to fail, and this is some sort of past life karma. Again, this stuff goes both ways. It's not about demonizing the other party. It's about revealing what's going on here and what's been going on. Because for you, what I'm seeing is the Knight of Pentacles. That even if you did have 7 years, bad luck. Even though I don't really believe in that. I just, whatever. I don't know, guys. I like to be cheeky, right? So anyways. You could have gone through like a 7-year drought. But it's like people came over to your backyard and see you growing like hydroponic vegetables in your like crazy like aquarian greenhouse or something. So yes, maybe you did deal with a dark time. If that reading relates to you, that 7-year reading that I did, I believe I'm wearing all green. Yeah, if you felt like you were just in the freaking darkness, some of you, I'm sorry to keep referencing all these readings, but I talked about the clip-off and completing the clip-off in my reading right before this one. I think it's called, like, Do They Remember? And it's actually a love reading. Was it in the clip? I think it was in that one. It was either in that one or the U 4.0. See, I'm getting confused. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me gather. This energy is very scattered. It's like everywhere. It's like I feel like somebody blew away all of my papers in the field and I have to go collect all my papers and they're blowing away and they're like important documents and I'm having to go like gather them. It reminds me of the 5 of Cups card in the Mystical Moments where she has to go kind of like grab her stuff in the water because the wind blew it away. I'm hearing a scripture like the chaff which the wind driveth away. This person could be religious that you've been dealing with here. This person specifically targeted your confidence. Again, I'm going to go back to the like hydroponic Aquarian, necessity is the mother of invention. You're an inventor sort of a mindset here where it's like, okay, everything's gone to shit. Everything possible in my life has completely blown up. Maybe that's not the case for everybody. I'm just saying it. And you somehow like made lemonade out of lemons here. And that's actually the side of the karmic lesson for you. Contract lesson, whatever. You know. I look at it as an initiation, but I like to use these terms because we know what we're saying when we talk about like lesson and all that, right? So what I'm seeing is like this other person, even if it wasn't directly, it could have been 1, 2, or even 3 steps removed. I'm getting here where it was like an energy infiltrating through kind of like an avatar of sorts. Of a person you could have been dating or been friends with or been at work with or surrounded by in some way for a prolonged period of time. Because again, I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles. And see, that's why it's karma. Like, that's why it's bad luck for this person. For you, I'm talking to people, you don't really believe in bad luck. I don't. So it could have been somebody was trying to send you bad luck so that while your stock was down, theirs went up, so to speak here. But instead, all it did was it hit you from the top. And instead of your stock continuing to go up here, what it did was it kind of just evened you out. Right? So for you, you kept with your patience, you kept with your stability, one foot in front of the other. For some of you, I'm seeing you whistling while you're at work. You're still keeping a positive mindset. Some of you are like spiritual or religious. I'm seeing prayer. I'm seeing even like fasting for some of you here because you believed that you were dealing with some sort of like entity or something like that. And you're this high vibrational like earth angel sort of energy. And it didn't really get you that much, right? But this is what the receipts video is about. Really, this is the main reference I'm making today, is to this receipts video. It directly ties into that reading. Yeah, and this is it's a judgment, as in this is like a spiritual court with a jury. And this is kind of like the formal, I'm hearing you've been served. So for some of you, this could be like a divorce or something like that. I'm hearing where somebody tried to take all your money and your assets and leave you out in the cold. But yeah, maybe you like saved, or you had, some of you had like a freaking offshore account or something like that. I don't know, man. Some of you are real like crafty. I'm seeing a snake. But I'm hearing the scripture, wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove, right? And that's Jesus teaching us about wisdom. Because with the devil, and is it still there? Yeah. The devil and the angel paradigm, so to speak. It's like finding a way to be a high priestess, basically, is what I'm saying here, where it's like you made friends with the darkness. You, instead of being terrified and sinking into this like 7 years bad luck and all this crap that whatever this person was trying to do towards you, for some it's a group. And if this is not your story, guys, it's not. You will know. You will know what I'm talking about, because in your heart you will resonate, right? I get a lot of comments, and I'm not saying that I'm letting the comments affect my messages. They'll never affect my messages, but I like to commentate on the commentary, right? To just clear up any confusion of what my motives are, you know, what my modus operandi is, like what am I doing here? Why am I saying this shit? Because they're telling me to. Simple as that. Right? It's some sort of like class action lawsuit. This wasn't a personal message for me. I thought it was yesterday. But it wasn't. They said, yes, you're part of this group. That you're getting this payout. And I heard July 15th. So take that as it resonates. So let's formally get cards. Something has concluded, though, on your side of things. We're going to get 4 cards. Tried to do kind of like an Audrey Hepburn today. Now my bangs have grown out, so I'll show you a picture of what I was trying to replicate. It's probably my favorite picture of her. For you, look, I'm looking at REC, like record, REC, period. Like everything was recorded. And for you, it's like this whole situation, this was more of an initiation for you, right? For this other energy that tried to do this against you, they were kind of just a pawn in a way. Like, the darkness used them, and that's why the darkness and the light actually work together. They come together. Come together right now over me. Because they are like a symbiotic, it's like in nature. Things work together. Like, one animal eats that animal, and just, the circle of life, all that. So, yes, you could have gone through a hard time, but actually coming out the other side, I'm seeing you like wipe your brow and be like, wow, I'm glad that's over. That was really hard. But you know what it did? It made me a Knight of Pentacles. And you need that as a foundation to be able to accomplish anything great in your life. To be able to stay consistent even when the winds are blowing in your face. And you could be in the Five of Pentacles. You could be facing some sort of lack. And with the Devil in the Tower, for some of us, it was more extreme than others. We had to live like day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute for some of us. Where we felt like we were moving through the darkness. Now, for some of you, this was you moving through the clip off. But anyways, I'm not going to go too much there because not everybody is on that journey. And we got Leo again, so formally 4 cards. Yeah, I'm just hearing this person be like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Like, they have like a compulsion. They're weird. They hate when you speak. They hate when you talk about things. It's like they hate when you're manifesting. They hate when you're moving forward. Because like I said, it was some sort of dark deal that they made. And unbeknownst to them, the contract, quote unquote, that they signed with the darkness was actually working for you. And that's what these people don't get. People that try to harm people with like black magic or negative intentions or prayers with their prayer chains and they're texting all their buddies at church and let's just pray for so-and-so. Hey, I would just be careful because you are doing something against somebody's will. Now, if you're praying for somebody to like get better, they're in the hospital, like, dear Lord, I pray for Cindy and I hope that she gets better and like everything's better. And if your name's Cindy, this is not anything like against you. Like, this is not saying this is going to happen to you. I'm just saying, Lord, please just help them with their health and help them feel better. In Jesus' name, amen. That's normal. That's like praying for somebody. But if you're like, praying against somebody because you believe what they're doing and saying is like evil and wrong and you want control over them with the devil and you actually have a codependent relationship with them and you're an energy vampire and you rely on this person's energy to be successful in your life, and even when you were doing all that against this person still remains steady like a Knight of Pentacles even after everything you tried. Let's just give a round of applause to this group. Because you're coming out the other side, group, with magic in your hands and a very promising life ahead of you because you've learned the hard lesson of staying true to yourself, true to your mission, true to your daily tasks, even if it was like the wind blowing in your face, everything coming against you, and you kept true to that. You're coming out the other side, like, honestly, just a strong person with the Strength card. Right? So, in the end, were we really harmed? Or was it an initiation? Yeah, these other, whatever these beings are, I think they're physical 3D world people, is what I'm seeing. Because they've harvested your energy and nothing's free. Nothing in life is free. 1, interesting. 2 cards came out with that, so I'm going to leave it. 2, 3, and 4 are magic outcome card. Yep, and here's our Knight of Pentacles. Love to see him. Knight of Pentacles in the chat. Thanks for showing up for us today. See, you learned to move, like you kept your happy place in your mind with the Ten of Cups in your head, like while you were moving forward. And there could have even been times where stuff got so dark that you could have even like kind of dissociated out into this happy place, whatever that is for you, just so that you could continue to move forward. And the Knight of Pentacles, he moves real slow, but it's kind of like one of those stocks that you invest in, and you invest like, I don't know, say you just invest like $8,000 in a stock, and then you like leave it there for 10 years. That's the Knight of Pentacles. You come back and it's worth $18,000. Now it's not worth $180,000, but it's worth $18,000. You know what I'm saying here? Like this is kind of even like adding to that account. Like every month you look at your finances and you take out, $114 every month and put it into this account and keep adding. It's that sort of stuff here. But with this Eight of Wands, what's interesting is it's like those same winds that were working against you for the past 7 years, so to speak, because what is time? Those same winds are now going to be at your back, pushing you forward. Now, these other people, I'm hearing fair weather friends. These other people, they're not going to fare as well as you. Something about an affair or something, you saw something at a fair. Somebody could have been having an affair at a fair. Anyways, whatever. They're not going to fare like you fared, is what I'm trying to say. It's like you were a Knight of Pentacles. We have at the bottom of the deck as proof, just coming through to reiterate my words, to say to you, you've done well. It's like when people stand before Jesus and he says, my good and faithful servant, you've done well here. It's giving that sort of energy. See, you're in a judgment energy too. It's kind of like when in the underworld, they weigh your heart to see if it's light as a feather. And if it's light as a feather, you move through. Again, it's giving this initiation stuff here, where it's like for these people, it's a completely different sort of initiation. It's a completely different sort of judgment, but it's the same energy. You're in a judgment energy where it's like good and faithful servant. You could even be blessed by like a guru or an ascended master of some kind. It doesn't have to be Jesus, but it could be. Because why am I saying it like that? I mean, I guess just I have a lot of scriptures locked in the brain from my years of ministry. But it's that energy. It's an ascended master energy that's like you've completed. Again, I'm hearing you've completed the clip off. So I'm just going to say that again. And some of you are probably like, what the hell is a clip off? But anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we call it. You can look at that same topic from different angles. It's just it's a challenging initiation that basically kills your ego and you rise again into a higher version of yourself. So there's lots of ways to say that same thing. And I feel like for some of us here, it's actually kind of like crazy. I'm just seeing you walk over the finish line, kind of just like this other energy on my side over here that's in the judgment over here. They were expecting for some of you to expire before you reach the finish line. And I'm seeing you walk over it kind of nonchalantly. It's giving Aquarius. I mentioned Aquarius before. It's giving that energy of kind of just, I made it. But this is what's at the end of this rainbow for you. There's some sort of a payout. So that's what this reading is about. It's not just an announcement that you have finished some sort of challenging cycle and that this other energy over here is now going to get that same cycle returned to them, because karma's karma. You reap what you sow. That's what Jesus taught us, if you want to go Christian with it. You reap what you sow. And that's just what it is, right? What you send out comes back to you. Simple. So they're now going to be going through the same thing. And this is formal. This is some sort of spiritual contract. This is not just like some random person sent you like evil eye or something like that. This is a coordinated, this was pre-birth, like this was planned as some sort of karmic cycle. Excuse me. And for some, this has happened multiple times. And that's why, for some here, this is related to family, like your family of origin, people that you knew growing up, extended family, that are hidden enemies from a past life, that have used you. I'm getting specifically they've siphoned your energy like since you were a kid and used it for their own gain. And the worse you were off, the better they were. Right? But even with all they tried, like I said, your stock just kind of continued on, right? But there is some sort of there's an up level here, and it's in the form, they gave me the word payout. So let's take a look. Card number 1, well, it's 1A and 1B because we have 2 cards here. Card 1A, we have the 4 of Cups. Card 1B, we have the Moon. I'm seeing him look into the cup and he's like scrying. He's scrying to try to decipher something here. So you could have been trying to figure this out. Or you could have even had an inkling that something was coming in or that something was about to like turn over. You could have felt a change in your energy. You could have, I feel like you're just very intuitive with the moon. You can feel things on a very deep level. You know people's intentions in their heart. And that could have made you feel very disappointed with the 4 of Cups. That there are people that wanted to use you in some way. Now, if we want to pull completely out of the 12th house for a minute and just bring it down into the 3D world, this could just come in the form of, people not repaying you the same energy that you pay them. Like you could have always been there for somebody or a group, and this, it's like then they're gone. It's like they don't repay the energy. And that's just what it can show up as in the 3D world. They took from you, they used you, they took advantage of you. And that stuff does have repercussions. And what I mean by repercussions is the balanced universal law of the universe. You reap what you sow. It's as simple as that. It's not all about like, oh, these people are going to burn in hell and stuff like that. I personally don't hold that opinion. I believe that all of this stuff works together, like I said at the start. So, card number 2 is the 8 of Swords. I'm feeling you trying to like figure this out. Like trying to see something with your mind and your intuition, like scrying in this cup, trying to figure out like what's behind the moon. Card number 3, we have the Devil. I'm gonna have to clarify these. The dark side of the moon. Card number 4, our outcome magic card, is the Three of Cups. See, this is a positive outcome. I forgot to say that at the start, but what I also got on my channeled message was that this is a positive outcome. And I was seeing it in like the justice card context, like a legal context. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not involved with any of that 3D world stuff. I'm seeing this more spiritual today. But for some of us here, our lives could just start to turn around. And that's simply because there's this wind energy coming through here where it's like it's at your back, and it's like it's pushing you. It's working with you instead of, against you. I can't do it backwards, but you see what I mean. Working against you, right? So there's something that's working for you. It's kind of like it's getting a leg up. That reminds me of Colette Baron Reed's deck. She has a card in there called A Leg Up. So let's get some clarification. Yeah, it's like this is you walking over the finish line. That's that detached kind of energy I was getting. It's like you're kind of just walking over the finish line. I think because for some of us, it's been so challenging. It's pushed us to the limit. Look, we have 888 as well. Yeah, wow, we have another 8. We actually have 8888. And I just put our reading out that was 888 right before this. So we have 4 8s here. And this is something maybe that will be happening in August. If it's 8. But I did get July. 8 is the number of abundance. Clarifying the 4 of Cups and the Moon. The 9 of Wands with the Star. I'm hearing that song. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. Yeah, there's that wind with the moon. See, it's the hidden wind. So that you couldn't, I'm hearing earth, wind, and fire. You could have used music to help you through this. What I'm seeing, there's the wind and it's hidden wind. I'm hearing hit and run. It's like a hit and run. It's like there was all this energy shot your way and it was negative, 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 negative. And this can just come in the form of you're just very intuitive and you could have felt people that you're tied to energetically, family, friends. Again, I'm hearing fair weather friends. This could be friends you thought were your friends, but they weren't your friends. It's like all that energy coming at you, coming at you, coming at you. You might not even realize how many people actually give a damn to talk about you, right? You might be the sort of person that kind of even keeps to yourself. So you're kind of just you didn't even realize all this negative secret energy was coming at you. But this is what I'm getting with the 9 of Wands and the Star. This experience that you went through, it just, yes, it made you more resilient, but there's nothing like coming out the other side of an impossible feeling situation. You can't take that away from a person. It's like once somebody goes through something and comes out the other side, there's this invincibility element. I'm hearing invisibility helmet, which is the helmet of Hades. See, I told you, the darkness works with you, not against you. They're going to be celebrating you at the end of this whole thing. I'm seeing it's like this, whoever this was over here was sending all this stuff, thinking that they're in control and they're pulling the strings. This could be a woman, it doesn't have to be a man. I'm seeing them doing all of that, and they're talking to this entity, metaphorically or literally for some of them. Some of them are darker practitioners, or they think they are. Anyways. And this entity is just kind of standing there silently as this person's commanding and barking orders at this thing that could break their neck if they wanted to, but they don't, right? this is kind of just the middleman I'm seeing, and it's like they actually would just kind of like take quote unquote orders from whoever this person is, or people. Again, this could be a group of people, even up to a community. I've seen stuff that would just blow your mind. Like I've seen groups of people in the spirit dimension from like my old hometown, like all colluding and like rising up, creating like a large thought form to bring destruction against my life. Now, I'm not saying that's in the literal 3D world, that they're all gathering at the local Panera and coming up with plans. I mean, maybe for some of us. We have some crazy situations that I've read on the channel, right? This is the point. This is all to bring you to this choice. And I feel like for a lot of us here, it's like moving forward into our higher timeline, which is just a natural byproduct of this karmic cycle or situation. It was meant to make you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And some of us might be thinking like, well, wasn't there another way? If there was, we would have taken it. So that's where I just get into my like, I come down into this different sort of an energy, and I just take my hands off of it. As much as I'm a person that believes that we control our reality and we're magicians and we can manifest and we're not just like hopeless victims in the world, as much as I believe in that, I simultaneously believe in the power, I was going to say of the occult, yeah. but not just that. I believe in the upper world and the lower world, and I believe that there are I'm going to say it like this just to keep it clear. I believe that God has a plan for us. I'm still just saying the same stuff I always have, right? Just from a different angle. God has a plan for you. Some things never change, right? And that's why I feel like you're walking over the finish line. Yeah, maybe you're a little bit beat up, but you're kind of just like, what's next? So let's look at it. We have the strength card, yeah. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. What was hidden here is actually how strong you really are. So for you, this side of the lesson for you and for us was to see your tenacity, your fire, because we have two very different energies here. This is kind of like moody and like the waves of the sea and like writing poetry and intuition. It's like a Piscean. Moody's Point. That reminds me of Moody's Point from the Amanda Show. See, with this Leo energy, it's like combining like the deep spiritual, like esoteric, like connecting with your feelings and yourself and your heart with like being like funny or theatrical, or it's like combining two things within yourself that maybe you struggled with, trigger warning, like depression, or you just went through a lot in your life even before all of this. So you kind of felt like, oh, I want to do these things, but I can't do them, and this is why, and those were very valid excuses, sort of a thing. It's kind of, I'm seeing this as the example that they're giving me. It's like a student coming up to a teacher and saying, the dog ate my homework, versus, hi, Mrs. P, I'm sorry, like, I don't have my homework because I actually was in the hospital over the weekend, and I have a doctor's note, and, it's that sort of a thing. It's like a valid excuse, if you want to call it that. But this is what this whole thing showed you, is the combination of the inside and what you can do with it outside. Because especially with the devil present with the strength card, she's like taming this lion, which is representative of our ego, like our inner selves, and the devil can be like the negative aspects of that, that drag us down, that bring us down. For some of us, maybe we did struggle with like substances or unhealthy codependency, or just trying to survive, right? And that's part of this. You're moving to another dimension, I want to say. It's like rising from the dead. It's like a spiritual awakening with the judgment into a different version of yourself, I want to say. Clarifying the Eight of Swords for the collective. You're going to have a positive outcome. I almost just said, you're going to have a positive attitude coming from these people, from this group. You could have dealt with people that just like turned a blind eye to you in your suffering. Like you could have been going through the ringer back here, and actually all the while it was them. And I'm not saying we're blaming everybody for every bad thing that ever happened to us in our lives. I'm saying, spiritually speaking, right? It's much bigger than this human existence, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm seeing them invalidating your emotions. And it's like that is being judged specifically. Because, we can feel kind of like, okay, yeah, there was stuff in our past that was like karmic or painful, or I dealt with family members that like neglected me, or they gaslit me, or exes that did that, or whatever. And we could kind of almost just block that out of our memories, sort of thing, and just pretend it wasn't there because we want to keep a positive attitude. So it's like ironic that these people were like, have a positive attitude, when you were being like negative or whatever, when really all you were doing was expressing the depths of your soul. And for some of us, it was we were expressing our disappointment in them or in a situation that we were unhappy with or unsatisfied with, or it wasn't deep. It wasn't like we couldn't connect. We couldn't, depending on if this is like romantic or not. And I'm just seeing an invalidation, and this is what they want you to know from the council, is that every single time you were like invalidated or gaslit or taken advantage of or not seen or disregarded in whatever way, especially when it comes to your emotions and how you felt. I'm hearing somebody calling you crazy with the moon. Every single time that happened, that was like written down, so to speak, and that same energy that they levied at you will simply just be pushed back into their dimension, right? Because that's the contract. Why did they sign it? Why did they agree to it? Because I'm seeing this saying to them like, so for 7 years you will have this person's energy, and you're going to see this person declining because of that. And these other people are just like shouting for joy. They're celebrating. Some of them are hearing, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Lord. And it's like, it's your energy. It doesn't have to be thank you, Lord. That's just my story. So I'm just apply that same energy to your thing. It could be like praise Allah. It could be any of that, right? And that's the stuff that's being exposed, is that these people used you for karmic gain. And some of them honestly are kind of a little out there, man. So for some of them, they looked at this as like, well, this is the ends justify the means. If we use their energy to gain this fortune for our family, then we can end up helping them in the long run with the money that we stole from them using their energy. They want the control. That's the point. Not all of these people are evil. It's like they were looking at it like, well, I know best. I'm hearing for some of you, they looked at you as like a prodigy or something like that. So, or you had like a fast wit about you when you were a kid, or you had like deep spiritual gifts. And a lot of us had this experience. I see it in the comments all the time. It's like something was seen about you, specifically when you were a child, that could be milked. So what I'm seeing for some of these people that were involved with this contract, which is what's being exposed, is that some of them were just like afar this whole time. Yeah, they were like cloaked. They couldn't be seen because they had this karmic contract to use your energy to gain for themselves wealth or health or wisdom or whatever over time, because in their twisted mind, they were like, well, down the line, then I will end up helping this original person that I'm stealing from, and I'll give them a cut. But this is the crazy thing about the devil, guys. Give you a cut of your own energy? That's where this stuff gets very confusing, because it's like, it would be like someone coming and stealing $1,000 from me, turning that money around, they create $2,000, and then they put like $200 back into my bank account. But the original was $1,000. So I'm actually $800 down from the original. But you're helping me? Well, we're helping everybody. We're spreading the wealth. Now we have 2,000 instead of we have 0 and you have 1,000. Now you have 200, which is still pretty good. And we have 1,800. It's like, what? That's not, that math is not mathin'. And that's the devil. It's an unfair contract a lot of the time. Or it's it's not a contract in the physical reality, like you're signing a paper and it's, Melissa Gordon and the date and everything. No, that's not this. This is spiritual. And you're high vibrational, and for some of these people, they're like, oh, I'm just skimming the cream off the top. A lot of this cow imagery coming through, where they're just milking. They're just milking. I'm just seeing milk everywhere, man. For some of you, you're like these master healers or like Reiki. Like you do Reiki, you do energy work. You have this like cosmic star energy that I'm hearing something about the fountain of youth as well, where it's like people fighting over. I'm hearing the ring. They're fighting over the ring. For some of you, that could be romantic with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands. But I digress. Clarifying the Eight of Swords. We're talking about the payout here, please. There's some sort of plan in place, or there was the entire time, you just couldn't see it. Yeah, it's like you were always gonna win this case, right? I'm hearing John Mayer. Don't stop this train. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. We have the Empress. You were always going to win this case. It was predestined. It's like, this made you from a Knight of Pentacles into a King of Pentacles. That's how I'm seeing this, right? It's like the knights are kind of like teens or like young adults, right? And the king, that's a grown man. So this is one of those things that like makes the man, right? Yeah, Ten of Swords. And some of us went through some real hard stuff and a lot of drama and a lot of challenges, and yet we somehow, we use it to our advantage. I'm seeing for some of us, it's like we just kept having these new beginnings with the Fool, where it's like every time we started to kind of dip, it's like we had this new inspiring, like Uranian idea with the Fool. It's like this revelation of like, do this or do that or go there or be friends with that person or try this or do that. Or it's like I'm seeing a lot of like reaching for the stars and like grabbing stuff and like adding it to your story. So putting all that together, if we average all of that together, it's all the negative, all the pressure, all the evil eye, all that shit. but we mix it with the energy I just had too, with that Uranian kind of like inventive, like necessity is the mother of invention. I'm gonna create this thing and I'm gonna end up helping the whole town with my hydroponic vegetables. It's like all that. It ends up, it didn't end up putting a lot of us up. Some of us, we had moments, but for the most part, it was just, it ended up averaging all to this steady Knight of Pentacles that ended up making us into this King of Pentacles. So that's what I'm seeing here. I mean, really, it's coming out as the Empress in the spread. So we couldn't see. We were trying to like scry, we're using our spiritual gifts to figure out like how to get out of this tough situation, but really it was never meant to get out of. It was meant to strengthen us and to, this is what I'm getting, to get to where you're trying to go, and this could literally just be spiritual and energetic, to get where you're trying to go, you couldn't ever have reached this point that you're about to reach if you didn't train for this. It's like the altitude of the mountain, you would have like not been able to breathe, so to speak. So, excuse me, this was the plan all along. You just couldn't see it. And they purposely were keeping you in the dark with the moon and the 8 of Swords. So that no one could take this away from you. Nobody could say, oh, they just got lucky, or oh, their parents gave them money, or oh, you know, I don't know, they married up, they married rich, or something like that. It's like no one did anything. Everyone worked their ass off the whole goddamn way and somehow made it through, and now we're on the other side. It's like there's something, and it, you know, if you had help along the way, I'm not saying that just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm saying it's that sort of energy where now that you're in this position, you're going to be able to move forward faster because all of that resistance moving against you, it's kind of like resistance bands. Like you're trying to move forward and the bands are pulling you back. It trained you to be like ripped energetically. So now that this is taken off of you, you're going to be going at the same speed you were before, but it's going to be like hyper speed because you're using the same amount of energy you always were because you built up strength against the resistance. So now you're just going to be moving like at hyper speed. I'm getting that. All right, card number 3, clarifying the Devil. We have the 5 of Pentacles. Remember, we talked about that with the Knight of Pentacles. We talked about this at the start of the reading. I think this is just proving what I was saying back there. The cards just like to kind of show, like, yes, this is true, what was being said here. And for some of us, this was in like a one-on-one relationship, this whole thing. For some of us, it was a marriage or a long-term connection with the 4 of Wands. Yeah, and the Hierophant. Yeah, for some of us, it definitely was an official marriage with the Hierophant, 4 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. For others here, this was an initiation. The best way to learn the hardest lessons is actually in a relationship capacity, in my opinion. So for some of us here, we could have actually been being initiated and trained to become these Hierophants, these spiritual leaders, teachers, guides, Reiki masters, whatever sort of like spiritual work you could have been being prepped for. This situation, even though it feels like it has nothing to do with that, it actually is the thing that qualifies you for the position that you're about to step into. Clarifying the Devil and the 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, the 6 of Pentacles. See, these were investments. This 5 of Pentacles, this was an investment, believe it or not. I know it doesn't feel like that. Yeah, I know it doesn't feel like that. 2 of Swords with the 8 of Swords. It could have felt like they purposely did not let you know, because that was part of the, I'm hearing something about a clause, something about Santa Claus, Christmas time. 6 of Cups, Temperance, Justice. the Magician. There could have been something specifically with Christmas time for some people here, but I'm specifically seeing there's something about a clause in the contract where, and you agreed to this before you came to Earth, even if you don't remember. And this is the outline, right, guys? This is not everybody's specific exact situation. It's kind of just the energy of the outline of this class action lawsuit, so to speak. The moon went into the reverse on the ground. So yeah, you're coming out of a time of darkness. It's about to be revealed with the sun. That's that receipts reading. So you're coming out of the moon into the sun. And this devil contract, this codependent thing, or you could have struggled with substances or just a really dark time, whatever that means for you with the Five of Pentacles. It could have been financial, it could have been just like emotional, or you could have felt like left out or ostracized. People could have turned a blind eye, like I said, like when you were in your time of suffering. It's like you were always there for them. That's the unfairness of the contract. You were always there for them and always every single time, and then they every single time invalidated you purposely and turned a blind eye to you because there's a weird envy, jealousy, kind of like they weirdly look at you as a superhuman, but at the same time, they like hate that you are. Like they think to themselves, "Oh, they're gonna be fine." But at the same time, they look down on you. So it's just a really weird energy. But let me get one more card. I want to see about the investments. Can you tell, what do you mean by exactly with the cards showing investments with the Six of Pentacles? What, these investments? Yeah. They're just showing me the contract. These people, it's a group for a lot of us. This was investing in their judgment day to come, which is now what's happening. It's the old switcheroo. But you have a big heart. You have a kind heart. This is not like, oh, they're getting their karma out of like my hatred for them. It's like, that's not this. So when I have people talking about, oh, I'm their karma and they're going to get their karma and stuff, I use those words, but I think we're not talking about the same thing. Like, I'm talking about it in a very neutral position. Even if I look mad or I get mad or whatever, I'm channeling energies that they're pissed. Your ancestors are coming through. They're angry. They're red in the face. They hate these people. So sometimes I channel those energies so that I can be as accurate as possible. I can look like that. I can sound like that. I can use those inflections. But at the end of the day, when I'm talking about karma and all that, I'm not really talking about, they're going to get their karma. Like, I'm not, just whatever. So, yeah. But this wind thing that I talked about earlier, where it's like, yeah, the hidden wind and the control coming through, that I look at it more in like a cerebral way, as in, well, that's just what it was. That's the facts. That's the information of the contract. They did this, therefore that's the judgment call. I take my emotion out of it, right? And I'm like, this is what happened. I'm not saying I didn't go through anger, grief, all the freaking 5 stages. I'm saying we all go through that as a human being. I'm saying, but if I'm in the judgment seat, facts are facts. This was done here, and that's it. That's the end. For some of you, it is having to do specifically with, like, money. Like, you're suddenly, I shouldn't use the word suddenly with the Knight of Pentacles, but Eight of Wands plus Knight of Pentacles equals your money's getting better. And it's because for a lot of us here, this energy was being siphoned away for other means. It was being used. So for some of us here, yeah, Three of Cups, that's part of the celebration that we're about to clarify with the Three of Cups here as well, is that things are just going to start to feel easier for you. You're not going to feel like you're climbing up a mountain. It's going to be more just like taking a walk around the neighborhood. That's the difference. So let's clarify this Three of Cups for the collective. I saw the devil flipping out. Oh boy, yeah, and that's you just walking over the finish line like all nonchalant with the Eight of Cups. Please clarify the Three of Cups for us. Yeah, 10 of Cups. This is how I'm seeing it. You're free. You're free from this whole process. You're coming out kind of looking normal. You know what I mean? Where it's not going to be, I hope it won't be that for them, but I'm seeing them like not in good shape, guys. This is why you don't do this stuff. But, like I said, do this stuff. This was predestined. This is for them to learn lifelong karmic lessons that they're too hard-headed to accept. And for some of you, it's that they literally do not want to accept that they feel like you're better than them. Notice I said they feel like you're better than them. In their head, you're better than them. Do you say you're better than them? Do you posture yourself as better than them? No. I mean, some of you might, but if that's the case, then maybe you're on the other side of the contract, because the people I'm talking to, we don't get into all that. High vibrational energy, we don't get into all that, right? That's not our, it's just this. The sun. So this is what I'm seeing. It's like you're celebrating on the other side of this victory, this positive outcome, this payout. And for some of us, our payout, it's real ass people. It's chosen family. It's good people. It's high vibrational people. It's replacing this other stuff. I'm getting this also as like conditional love. And it doesn't have to be all like devilish, like these people were absolutely terrible people. It's like it just could simply be just watered down to the point. These people believed in conditional love. They didn't love you no matter what. You had to abide by a certain thing and a certain system in a certain way. For some of you, it was a narcissistic family dynamic. You had to do things a certain way, be a certain way, kiss the ass of the leader. And if you didn't, you wouldn't be given to, like you would be left out in the cold, or left out of family vacations, or left out of the will, or left out, it's whatever, or just left out entirely of whatever. It was a conditional thing, and they're all in there. So this is generational. It's not like these people are terrible, these people are terrible, these people are terrible, they're gonna burn in hell. They grew up in that dynamic as well. And that's why for a lot of us here, we're actually breaking generational curses, paradigms, generational baggage, where it's like their dad was an alcoholic and their dad's dad was an alcoholic, and whatever. That's all in this. It's all combined in this, right? So what I'm seeing here is like for some of us, this is the gift. This is the payout. It's that we're going from conditional love to unconditional, where it's like these are real ass people. These are people that will love you. They'll be in your wedding. They'll be, they'll come visit you at the hospital, like when you're birthing your first child. They will come to you, God forbid, if you're in the hospital and you're dealing with something, they'll say, get well soon. They'll bring you soup. Like, these are people that could disagree with you, but still love you anyways. Can I get any more on this? It looks like you're literally leaving. It looks like one of those movies where, like, everything blows up in the background, and the person's just like walking so awesomely and like slowly towards the camera, like as everything's just blowing up behind them, and they're just like looking right into the camera as they go. It's like the end of the movie. This is the end of the movie, where it's like you just look freaking awesome, dude, coming out of this. You look like it's your close up. You did it. 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups. See, this is all people. It's all people. See, for some of us, it's like, with my thumbnail with like the money in the hand and all that, right? For some of us, it is going to be money, but I don't feel like you need a payout for that. You can make your own money is how I'm getting this energy with the Queen of Pentacles. The reason why you weren't able to, or you struggled Five of Pentacles, is because of all this other shit. Or just simply, maybe you had terrible people around you that were just like, it made it impossible. So I feel like with the Three of Swords, what this is like support, love, like happiness, high vibrational energy, that you're just gonna be kind of left to your own devices, to where when you're just in your own energy and you're surrounded by like all this love and happiness and high vibrational stuff, I'm seeing you with it's the Empress energy. I'm seeing everything blooming around you, like all the plants and animals. You look like a Snow White, man. Even if you're a man, it's like it's just like a dude version. It's like I'm seeing you out there with the freaking wolves or something, man. I don't know. And they're just all like coming up to you and like like licking your hands and stuff, and you've like somehow like tamed these like crazy beasts like out on your freaking trek in the wild. I don't know. I'm seeing it as like you are like one with the universe here with the World card. You have, it's like you've accomplished something where now that this kind of eye is off of you, this negative eye, they're gonna be busy. They're gonna be busy over there, and they're not gonna have time to do all this mess that they were doing. All this stuff's just gonna begin to bloom around you. And it's just all this like positive, happy energy that we cultivate. We're able to just kind of be left to ourselves to do what we would naturally do if we didn't have all this interference. Now, life isn't perfect. People aren't perfect. It's not saying that this is like heaven, but it's saying this is high vibrational energy because you've entered this new dimension where this is running free and this is available. Yeah, look, Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck, too, with the Magician. See, this is these other people. It's like the Seven of Pentacles. They could have... This is what I'm getting. That was that energy. Ten of Wands, too. This is what they're being judged for. Well, this is what's being looked at, I should say. They tried to throw off your balance. Yeah, we have the Justice card, just confirming that here. For some of you, it was through words. For some of you, it was through actions. And from afar, for the most part. So this was like, for some, they even sent like negative, dark feelings where, I'm seeing stuff like dark stuff about like, wanting to like end things and, I can't do this anymore and I don't want to live and all that sort of stuff. What I'm seeing here, this is the energy I was trying to describe where everything just blooms around you, and I'm going to close on this. Magician, 10 of Wands with the Three of Cups. This is this like negative manipulative energy that was trying to place that burdens and resistance on you, right? So that you would feel heartbroken. So that you would feel like every single time you had like a really good dynamic idea that you would have naturally just had and implemented anyways, it's like you would start second guessing. You would question yourself. You'd change directions 1,000 times. Like with this show, for example, you can look back at my earlier episodes and I was just like, every single time because this show was given to me. Like this whole thing, this whole metamistic thing from the start back in 2021, they gave it to me. They said, this is the position we want you in and we want you to do this. And every single time I kind of started getting wind under my sails, because as you guys know, I used to have a Christian ministry. I left all of that behind. It was very challenging to go from that to having this spiritual awakening, my entire faith deconstructed, and I built this whole other thing, the metamystic, right? So it's like I'd have these ideas and I'd have this whole download of like how to do it and everything, and then something would happen. It would either be like, and I'm not saying that I can't just feel these ways myself. I'm just saying I felt this way without anybody helping. I've always struggled with depression. I've always struggled with anxiety and stuff like that. I'm diagnosed with it. But I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's like on top of my already cocktail of whatever. It's like I felt stuff being like sent to me, like very dark negative emotions and biting words and like, who do you think you are? And, you know, stuff that felt like somebody threw a smoke bomb into my apartment and then ran away. It's like, it got really weird. And so at best, it just made me like take pause or question things or kind of analysis paralysis. And it was like, it was energetic manipulation. And that's what's being looked into here with the justice and the judgment. That's all. Just the extra stuff that they threw in that wouldn't have been there otherwise. But again, this is the karmic plan. This is the plan. This was the greater plan, is that these people are now, they're going to learn. They're going to learn. And it's necessary. And you're going to be moving forward, Eight of Wands, Chariot, and they have the opportunity to actually understand that it's not about feeling like, oh, somebody's better than me and they keep getting this from lifetime to lifetime. It's like, no, this is, you earned this. You earned this Hierophant position. And it doesn't have to be like Hierophant as we think of Hierophant. It's like you've earned a spiritual ranking is how it's coming through. Right? You've earned this. And it came through on my reading. It came through on my reading where I was talking about, it was like my alien reading that I did. It's an angelic ranking of some kind here. It was an initiation, and that's why for some I said it was the clip-off with the devil and the Hierophant. It's an upper and lower world with the angels, the entities, and the Hierophant. It's like he's the bridge between these two. Let me do this. Yeah, look, we have the High Priestess right behind that. It's like you could have gone through like a Persephone type of initiation, because for some you might identify more with like a magician than a high priestess, and that's fine too. Some of us might identify more with like, I'm a teacher, or I'm like a Reiki master, or I'm a healer or something like that. For all of us, this initiation, what it results in, what position we will take because of this, it's a little bit different for everybody, but it's high vibrational. All of these are very high vibrational, very spiritual, esoteric energies. It's just we express our work in different ways, and I feel like a lot of us were offered this opportunity before we came to Earth. Like, do you want to be able to increase your ranking? We have an idea for how we can work that in. But the deal was, if this is applying to you, that you would be left in the dark while it was happening, so that it wouldn't be, it's like when scientists run an experiment, it's so that it's not biased. It's like you're blind, you don't know. Like one group receives a placebo and the other group receives the actual pill. It's like you didn't know what was going on, so that you could come out of this initiation with the true ranking that you cannot get. There are no shortcuts to this. You cannot get this any other way. This is just how the system works, in this realm at the very least, right? So that's what I'm getting here. That's quite the payout. It's a spiritual ranking. But since we have the Empress, again, this can absolutely translate into physical 3D world, money, because Persephone is the daughter of Demeter. Where did I put my... think I shuffled them back in. But my stack of initiatory positions that I just had there with the magician and everything. The high priestess is the daughter of Demeter, right? And she goes down into the underworld and then she comes back up in the spring. And Demeter rules over like the wheat, the agriculture, like she runs the plant. Okay, sorry guys. I'm just gonna end like this on my like laptop camera. So basically, in conclusion, the Empress, she is the 3D world. You know, she is the money, the health, the wealth. She's Venus. Like, everything that she touches turns to gold. So, yes, this is a payout, but it's a payout. It's like the payout of the Ten of Pentacles with the tree, right? It's that tree on the Ten of Pentacles. And the clip-off is the opposite or the shadow of the Kabbalistic tree. So I'm seeing that here. It's like now that you've gone through that initiatory period of the dark side of things, now you're going to get the light side. You're going to get the benefits. And we don't have the Ten of Pentacles here, but we had the Ten of Cups. So for a lot of us here, this is translating. Sorry, guys, my makeup's messed up. This is translating into, like we said, it's translating into people. But I feel like, I have a feeling that once you're surrounded by this like high vibrational energy, or just even in your own energy without it being tampered with, you're just going to start to become more prosperous in your life, because that's just the nature of the Empress. She has like a green thumb, and it's abundance energy. And it's big love, and it's big money, and it's luxuries, right? So I love you guys. It's been Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. I hope this reading was helpful to you. You can always listen to the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. EST, as well as on my YouTube channel at The Metamystic. Thank you so much to all who donate. And if you want to book a personal, you can always email me. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.